Yeah, everyone, Michael here. So I saw the recent poster for Joseph Parker versus Derek Chisora, and they put it on pay-per-view. So you have what are the main fights? You got Chisora versus Parker, you got Katie Taylor versus Tasha Jonas, which is a really good fight. To me, that is a really good fight for women's boxing, and that is a fight I want to see. And then you have Chris Eubank Jr. against Marcus Morrison. That is a bad fight. And obviously the main fight, you have the Parker versus Chisora. Is this a pay-per-view card? Of course not. What kind of nonsense is this? This is definitely not pay-per-view. I'm not paying for it. You gotta be kidding me. I'm just gonna watch it on YouTube the next day. I'm not paying for this. You gotta be kidding me. Like, that's a fight. Just so not even YouTube. Let's be honest, yeah. That's a card you just stream. I'm not paying for it. I mean, but listen, if Matchroom can get people that are gullible enough, yeah, so you had trying to talk, yeah, car giving sort of, that car is loud, like with the guy just trying to do a video, like, come on, trying to talk. Wow, that is still, I can still hear that. How loud is this car? I was trying to say, if Matchroom can get people that are gullible enough to pay for pay-per-views like this, that is, well, you can't really blame Matchroom if people are going to pay for it. But as my channel gets bigger and bigger, hopefully I want to try and influence people, and like, you don't need to stop paying for stuff like bad cards like this. If you keep paying, the people in boxing are gonna keep taking your money. So why do it? You know, if you right, would you keep paying money for a bad quality product? So imagine you go to a restaurant and they serve you burnt food. Would you be willing to pay for it? I wouldn't. I'd look at it, I said, well, that's burnt, I'm not eating that. I'll just leave the restaurant, you know. So imagine they serve you, say you've ordered like a nice meal, and they give you like a piece of bread as the meal. Well, I said, well, that's not what I ordered. Or if someone gave me meat or fish, I'm vegan, well, so I'm not paying for that. I never ordered that. So, but in boxing, they keep serving you this local. I mean, look, I'm not being harsh. I think Parker versus Chisora, it's a decent fight. It's a fight I don't mind watching. Yeah, I don't mind. It's a decent fight. You know, I think it should be a good fight. There should be good back and forth action. Because, you know, with Chisora, he always brings the pressure, doesn't he? But it's not a fight that it's not a fight that we should pay for. Pay-per-view, I tell you what pay-per-view should be. Pay-per-view, it should be a fight between two guys, two fighters. Well, let's just say two men. All right, two men that are in the top 5 of their division, which people want to see. So, all right, Joshua versus Fury, that's pay-per-view. Joshua versus Wilder, that's pay-per-view. Canelo versus Charlo, that's pay-per-view. Canelo versus Saunders, I'll actually say it's not really pay-per-view, because it's not just about where you're ranked, but I need to see the performances where you've been in exciting fights. Canelo versus Charlo is exciting. Canelo versus Saunders, it might be exciting, it might not. I think Canelo's going to win the fight comfortably, but Saunders might just go there to just... I don't think Saunders... There's no way Saunders is going to win. He's just not good enough. He hasn't boxed anybody lately. His last fight was against Martin Murray. And now you're coming up against Canelo, a guy who's absolutely mastered the skill of the art of boxing. You're not going to beat him, you know. So it's not a fight which... For me, I don't think that's pay-per-view. And, you know, we'll see what the undercard is, but... is going back to the main point, which was Chisora versus Parker. Chisora's had like 10 losses. Parker, he's not an exciting fighter. Plus, he lost his last fight. I mean, well, he didn't lose it, he won it, but, you know, I watched it, I wasn't impressed. It wasn't a good performance. But that's not pay-per-view. It's like when you go to the cinema. I only go to cinema, I won't only go for a film if I've seen the trailer and I like it. That's the only time I'll go. But I'm not just going to pay £10 for every single film that comes out. I will only go to the cinema if it's a film that I want to watch. So 2 films that I've watched recently at the cinema, I watched The Joker and I watched the Apollo Creed film. So not Adonis Creed. So I watched that film. So I watch the trailer. If I like it, I'll go, but I'm not just gonna, you know what I mean, like Gladiator or Godfather, those are films, but not, you know, you don't want to pay for every single low budget. Alright, so imagine they said we're gonna have a Coronation Street movie. Would you pay for it? Would you go to the cinema and pay for that? Or say they said they had an EastEnders film, would you watch? I would. I'm not paying to watch that. Like, I'm not gonna, I wouldn't pay to watch EastEnders. I don't watch EastEnders. It's not interesting, you know, not for me. So it's a bad pay-per-view. You know, it's greedy money. Like, well, I mean, really, it's not. What can I say? But if people are gonna pay for it, you only got yourself to blame. And the other fights, you've got Eubank versus Mark Morrison. Absolute mismatch. Eubank's gonna beat him with ease. I'd rather watch Eubank versus Liam Smith or Liam Williams or somebody not called Liam. Who else could he fight? Someone that's not called Liam. Or Eubank could fight Callum Smith, or he could fight, who else can I think of? What's his name? Jamie Munguia. Could fight people like that. Could fight Canelo. Could fight, obviously Canelo's fighting. How about Eubank versus Golovkin? I would like to see that. Golovkin probably knocks him out, which is why he doesn't really want to take Golovkin on. But you know, you're saying that Liam Williams is not good enough to fight you, and Liam Williams has not got a big enough name, but then you're fighting Marcus Morrison. Who's ever heard of Marcus Morrison has not achieved as much as Liam Williams has. I'd rather watch Eubank versus Liam Williams, and, you know, and then the winner can fight Demetrius Andrade or something. But obviously, well, Liam Williams is fighting Andrade anyway. But obviously, let's see what happens when he comes back. Hopefully, he picks up the world title. I think Andre is going to be hard to beat. I think Andre probably beats Liam Williams on points. But I hope Liam wins, because I sparred Liam last year. You know, he was kind enough to spar me. You can watch it on my YouTube channel. Just go to Michael versus Liam Williams. I like him on a personal level, but, you know, I don't think he can beat Andre. I mean, can he knock him out? It's not going to be easy. Can he beat him on points? It's not going to be easy. So, but, you know, I'd rather see some of these fights. But, you know, you're watching, they're giving us Eubank versus Morrison. I mean, what is this, Return of the Mac? You know, I mean, because the guy that sings Return of the Mac is actually called Mark Morrison. Is that who you're fighting? You're fighting some rapper singer. Like, come on. Mark Morrison's not going to win. And the other one, Katie Taylor versus Tasha Jonas, is a good fight. I personally want to see it. But it's not a fight I would... It's not pay-per-view though. It's not a pay-per-view fight. But anyway, I've said enough. Let me know what you all think. Have a nice day. Take care. Thanks for watching. Oh, and I forgot the other fight to mention. I forgot to mention Craig Richards versus Bivol. So I think it's a decent fight. It's a good fight. It's not a pay-per-view fight. But I think Bivol's probably going to knock him out, most likely. But as I said, it's not a pay-per-view card. No way, no way, no way. Not a pay-per-view card. So, but it's up to you lot. Tell me what you think. Are any of you going to pay for this? I'm not paying for it, no way. My advice to people watching this video, just stream it. Stream it or watch it the next day on YouTube. But don't waste your money. You know what I mean? But anyway, take care. Thanks for watching. Oh, and going back to what I said in one of my previous videos, this is just more Adam Smith, Mr. Bean and Eddie Hearn corruption. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that Matchroom are giving us, these silly fights on pay-per-view. Just corruption. Someone needs to arrest these people. Arrest Mr. Bean for corruption and arrest Eddie Hearns as well. Sorry, not Hearns, Eddie Hearn. There's no S. Well, you know, Eddie Hearn or Eddie Hills, the former fighter, you know, says he's a fighter, but I don't believe him. You know, but anyway, take care. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think.